Top 20 Nollywood actors and actresses who are banned from acting. Hello guys, welcome back to Prejudice TV. So guys, have you ever wondered why some of the Nollywood's biggest stars suddenly disappeared from your screen? One day they were everywhere and the next day they were gone. They are either blacklisted, suspended or brought down by shocking scandals. In today's video, we'll be counting down the top 20 Nollywood actors and actresses who were suspended, blacklisted or banned and the reasons behind it. So guys, watch the video to the end because what number 20 did shocked the entire Nollywood industry that they had to ban him permanently. So guys, let's get started. At number 1, we have Queenette Hilbert. On June 3rd, 2021, the Actors Guild of Nigeria suspended Queenette indefinitely over alleged professional misconduct. The issue was connected to complaints from movie producers who accused her of leaving some movie projects unfinished. According to the report, some producers had already paid her, but the movies were not completed. So because of that, NGN suspended her. However, on July 20, 2021, the guide partially lifted the suspension. She was allowed to go and finish the project that they had agreed on, but there was still one outstanding project that she had to complete before the suspension could be fully lifted. So Queenet's case was not a permanent ban, it was a suspension connected to problems with movie contracts. At number 2, we have Genevieve Nnaji. Imagine being one of the biggest actresses in Nollywood and suddenly you were told not to act again. That was what happened to Genevieve Nnaji. Back in 2004, Nollywood movie marketers banned 8 of the industry biggest stars, and Genevieve was one of them. The problem was mainly about money. The marketers accused the actors of demanding very high fees for movies. They believed the actors were becoming too expensive to work with, and since Genevieve was one of the Nollywood's biggest stars at the time, she was one of the main targets. The ban reportedly lasted for 2 years, but something unexpected happened. The marketers soon realized that the replacement actors were not attracting the same number of viewers. Fans wanted to see Genevieve and the other big stars. So around 2006, the ban was lifted. Genevieve returned and went to become one of the Nollywood's biggest stars internationally. At number 3, we have Angela Okorie. Angela Okorie has been involved in several public controversies and legal issues. One of them involved allegations of cyberbullying against fellow actress Mercy Johnson. She was also linked to another controversy involving a controversial cleric, although she denied the allegations. And because of the cyberbullying of Mercy Johnson, people started calling out the AGN to either ban her from Nollywood from acting or to suspend her. But she later apologized to Mr. Johnson and everything went back to normal. Coming at number 4, we have Angel Unigwe. In June 2024, veteran actor Kanayo O. Kanayo publicly called out movie producers to stop working with Angel. He accused Angel's mother and manager of breaking movie contracts and taking Angel away from movie sets before the agreed time. Kanayo O. Kanayo even said he could personally stop production that hired her, but Angel's mother strongly denied the accusation. She said Angel was a minor and was sometimes working extremely long hours on movie sets. She also took legal actions against Kanayo O. Kanayo, accusing him of cyberbullying and defamation. At number 5, we have one of Nollywood's biggest female stars, Omatala Jalade. Omatala was also part of the famous G8 group that was banned in 2004. The movie marketers accused the top actors of charging too much money, and Omatala was already one of the biggest stars in Nollywood at that time. So for about 2 years, she was kept away from acting. But the ban soon became a problem for the marketers themselves because movie sales started suffering. Fans wanted to see the big stars they were used to seeing on the movie posters and DVD covers. At number 6, we have Tonto Dike. Back in 2019, the Board of Trustees of the Actors Guild of Nigeria threatened to sanction Tonto Dike after she gave a series of explosive interviews detailing her marriage breakdown, including allegations against her ex-husband. AGN's board accused her of bad behavior. It said it could no longer tolerate it. Tonto Dike fired back publicly, telling the Guild's leadership to focus on more important industry issues instead, but there was no confirmation that the AGN later went on with their threats or either suspend or ban her. At number 7, we have Iyabo Ojo. Iyabo Ojo was banned by Tampan in June 2021 over the same Baba Ishaya controversy. Iyabo had been especially vocal, publicly demanding justice and leading protests after Baba Isha arrested for the alleged sexual assault of a minor. Tampan said her statement embarrassed the association and banned directors from casting her. Iyabo initially refused to back down, declaring, "I can never be silenced," but within days, in a surprising turn, she publicly apologized to Tampan elders, kneeling and thanking them for their role in her career. The ban was effectively resolved within about a week of the apology, and Iyabo continued working, even picking up award nomination while the controversy was still unfolding. At number 8, we have Jerry Williams. On June 28, 2023, the Actors Guild of Nigeria made history, suspending Jerry Williams indefinitely for what is called involvement with illicit substance, marking the first time AGN had ever suspended a member specifically over drug-related concern. AGN said it had been monitoring the situation since December 2022 and that Jerry had repeatedly defaulted on treatment, becoming what the guard called a risk to himself and other actors on set. A week later, Jerry checked into a rehab facility. By early August 2023, roughly 5 weeks after the suspension began, AGN confirmed he had cooperated fully with the process and the suspension was lifted, with Jerry posting an emotional video thanking the guide and his supporters for standing by him. At number 9, we have Adam Maluk. On April 10, 2024, Nollywood actor Junior Pope drowned in a boat accident while returning from a movie set produced by Adam Maluk. In response, the Actors Guild of Nigeria immediately suspended her production, The Other Side of Life, and banned all actors from working with her as a producer going forward, reportedly over concerns about safety failures on set, including the absence of life jackets. AGN also banned all riverine and boat location shoots nationwide following the incident. At number 10, we have Nkechi Blessing. In June 2021, TAMPAN, the Theatre Act and Motion Pictures Practitioner Association of Nigeria, suspended Nkechi Blessing after she publicly clashed online with colleague Kehinde Adams, known as Leji Miami, over the arrest of actor Baba Ijesha, who was later convicted of sexually assaulting a minor. Tampan accused Nkechi of reckless accusation and disrespecting the association, banning producers from working with her. Nkechi initially dismissed the suspension, calling it a joke, but it stuck for 3 full years. It wasn't until October 2024 at an award event in Toronto that Nkechi publicly knelt and apologized to Tampan's leadership, and the suspension was officially lifted with a warm public welcome back. At number 11, we have Ramsey Nouah, one of the Nollywood's most iconic leading men, was also swept up in the 2004 G8 marketers ban. The reasoning was identically to his co-stars. Marketers claimed the top-tier actors were charging too much per movie and threatening the industry profits margins. For 2 whole years, Ramsey Nouah couldn't work with any producers tied to the Marketer Association that controlled most of Nollywood's output at that time. It was a rough stretch for an actor at the peak of his popularity, but like the rest of the G8, he was eventually recalled once producers admitted the new crop of actors simply weren't selling movies. And Ramsey Nouah returned to a career that could later include directing hits like Living in Bondage, Breaking Free, and so many other hits movies. At number 12, we have Jim Iyke. Jim Iyke has actually spoken openly about the famous 2004 ban. According to him, he helped organize the fight for better pay for the actors. At that time, many actors believed movie marketers were making a lot of money from their faces while paying them very little. So the actors demanded better pay, but the marketers did not agree. Instead, they banned the actors. Jim Iyke and the other G8 members were locked out of many productions for about 2 years, but Jim Iyke later said the ban was actually a blessing in disguise. Why? Because it opened its eyes to see how the industry worked. And when the marketers realized that audiences were no longer buying as many movies without the big stars, the ban was eventually lifted. Jim Iyke returned and continued his successful career. At number 13, we have Nkemowo. Another member of the former G8 was the legendary comedian Nkemowo, popularly known as Osofia. In 2004, movie marketers banned him for the same reason as the other G8 members. They believed the actors were demanding too much money, but Nkemowo was not just an actor, he was one of the biggest comedy stars in Nollywood. So removing him from movies was a big gamble, and the marketers soon realized that fans missed him. By 2006, the ban was lifted, Nkem returned to the screen and continued making audiences laugh. Interestingly, years later, he faced more criticism over claims that his movie fees were too high, so the fight over actor fees did not completely disappear. At number 14, we have Halima Abubakar. In October 2024, actress Halima Abubakar was suspended indefinitely by the Actors Guild of Nigeria. AGN said it had carried out a 2-year investigation. The guide accused Halima of being behind several gossip stories involving alleged relationship between some people in the entertainment industry and other important people in Nigeria. But Halima denied the accusation. She also took legal actions against AGN and complained that she was not given enough opportunity to defend herself before the suspension was announced. The suspension lasted for more than a year. Then in January 2026, AGN finally lifted it. Former AGM president Emeka Rola said acting was Halima's main source of income. He also said that considering the serious challenge she had faced, it could be unfair to keep the suspension in play. So after more than a year, Halima was finally free to return. At number 15, we have Mr. Johnson. In November 2013, the Film and Video Producers and Marketers Association of Nigeria banned her. The official reason given was unbecoming attitude. But reports at that time suggested that money was also a major part of the problem. Messi was reportedly charging around 2 million naira per movie. She was also accused of making making expensive demands, including first-class flight and expensive hotel rooms. The marketer has even mentioned Inedo as a possible replacement for her. Messi initially refused to back down, but after about 4 months, she apologized and agreed to complete her outstanding contract. On March 9, 2014, the ban was lifted, and Messi Johnson went on to become one of Nollywood's biggest and most loved actresses. At number 16, we have Stella Damasus. Stella was another big name caught up in the 2004 G8 ban. The movie marketers accused the actors of charging too much for their movies. Stella was one of the most popular actresses in Nollywood at that time, so being banned meant she could no longer appear in many movies controlled by the marketers. The ban lasted for about 2 years, but in 2006, the marketers lifted the ban. Stella returned back to acting and continued building her career. She later became known not only for acting but also for music and advocacy. At number 17, we have Inedo. Inedo case happened early in her acting career. She was reportedly given a 1-year ban by the Actors Guild of Nigeria. However, the reason for the ban was not clearly explained in many reports. This made the case quite controversial. The interesting part is that the ban did not even last for the full year. After about 4 months, AGN lifted the ban. Ini then returned to the industry and made a strong comeback. And years later, during Messi Johnson's 2013 ban, movie marketers reportedly suggested Inedo as a replacement for Messi. At number 18, we have Hanks Anuku. Hanks Anuku was once one of Nollywood's most famous tough guy actors, but in recent years, videos of him looking confused and disoriented in public went viral. The videos caused a lot of concern among fans. They also led to rumors that Nollywood had stopped giving him jobs, but Hanks denied claims that he was using hard drugs. He explained that he had been dealing with depression, unemployment, and financial difficulties. He also said the viral videos affected his career because of some producers began making assumptions about him, some saying that he was mentally ill. However, there is no official record showing that AGN banned or suspended him. At number 19, we have Shirley Igwe. In July 2025, actress Shirley Igwe was suspended by the Actors Guild of Nigeria. The suspension followed an alleged violent incident on a movie set in Lagos. AGN said her behavior was unacceptable and could damage the image of the acting profession. The guide then told its member not to work with her, but the matter did not stay unresolved for long. A disciplinary committee led by veteran actor Sam Dede looked into the case. Then, after another review in November 2025, AGN lifted Shirley's suspension. She was allowed to return to movie sets and take part in guide activities. However, the guide also advised her to remain calm and professional when dealing with difficult situations on sets. Now, lastly, at number 20, we have Emeka Ike. Emeka Ike's ban is different. This wasn't about money, it was about power. In 2009, the Actors Guild of Nigeria accused Emeka of anti-guide activities, claiming he was destabilizing leadership, sponsoring disruptive behavior, and refusing to recognize the guide's authority after a bitter internal power struggling over the AGN presidency. The board of trustees banned him and stripped his vice president title. Emeka fired back, calling the ban illegitimate and taking the fight to court, insisting the board's own tenure had expired. This dispute dragged on for years through the 2010s with claims and counterclaims from the both sides. Unlike most names on this list, Emeka's situation was never clearly resolved. By 2017, he largely stepped back from AGM politics, but no formal undisputed resentment was ever widely confirmed. So guys, we have come to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, kindly smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss any of our latest Nollywood and celebrity updates. Bye guys, see you in the next video.